Virgo Collective, welcome, welcome. I'm Nikki, your local vegan tarotist, and we are going to do a love reading for Virgo singles. All right, this may or may not be your divine counterpart. This could be somebody that you've met, haven't met, about to meet. We're going to read for the masculine, read for the feminine, and then we're going to read for confirmation. Trying to keep these videos a little bit more digestible for the everyday tarot reading listener. Because I can get a little bit long-winded. If you're interested in personal readings, all the information you need is in the description box below, and ways to support. Thank you for your time and coming here to view this right now. I'm in a bit of an annoyed energy right now. Maybe you are with something with work. We've got labor here and crop. 322 blissful bamboo. Sounds like Rambo. Bamboo, recommended by 10 out of 10 pandas. Panda. I gotta look that up because every time I hear the word panda, I think of that song Panda, where they say panda, but I can't. Then all I can hear is poison, because that's just the way that my brain shifts it in from the way that it's said. So we'll read for the masculine first. You could be dealing with a Leo or have strong Leo placements. You could be struggling with your fire placements as well. Feminines, you could be struggling with the divine masculine, your divine masculine, right? Well, I'll say your twin flame, right? We don't call ourselves divine feminine, divine masculine until we have gone through the major arcana. We've spent that time to do the shadow work, and we are on a divine frequency. You can't call yourself something you're not. It's like, yeah, what is that, Seinfeld? I'm not a doctor, I just play one on TV. So we have the Four of Cups and Ace of Pentacles. Yeah, so there's some sort of offer that is not coming in. Somebody is really in a observant place. Just sort of, yeah, somebody had to choose themselves. This masculine, I feel, had to choose themselves in a situation where it did not meet expectations. Okay, and people might say, oh, don't have expectations, you won't be disappointed. That's bullshit. Everybody has expectations, and everybody should have expectations, right? That's how we build our standards. That's how we set our boundaries. Something just came turned over and upside down. It's the Two of Pentacles, which is balancing, multitasking. So this could be in reference to past love, or again with work, something that was emotionally dissatisfying. You maybe were giving your energy to a job that did not suit you. You were working for others. I wouldn't be surprised if like the Ten of Wands came out in that energy, which is an ending of feeling burdened by others. But the Two of Pentacles is multitasking, it's balance, it's Capricorn energy. Capricorn is the workaholic of the zodiac, so it does feel like something was not working. Not working very well. You and this past person, we're not going to dwell too much on that because we don't give a shit about past people. Love and light. Send them off. Yeah, I feel like this masculine is in a very, like, nah, not doing that. And maybe just the Virgo collective, so, you know, whichever you resonate. Whichever side you resonate on. Yeah, I feel kind of grumpy and irritable. And yeah, we do have the High Priestess. You could have dealt with a Pisces. Your person could have strong Pisces placement. And then we have the Six of Wands, which represents Leo, but we're putting that back in the deck. So there's something about, which Leo is the heart center, right? As is the moon. So the divine masculine and feminine celestial bodies represent the heart space, right, of us terrestrial beings. And that is how we connect. We connect through that divine energy, right? Connection is mutual. And see how this is connected like a fan belt on a vehicle or something? It's like it goes around by a bicycle. Maybe you cycle, but there's like a bicycle chain, you know. It's supposed to go around and around, and there's two wheels here, right? But they're like, they feel like stone, you know, like in the Flintstones. It's like, like these wheels, this is how things should be running. This is smooth. This is how you juggle. This is how you play. There's the ocean, like everything's surfing. Everything's like balanced and moving with the flow, going with the flow, because this cycle has been working for a long time. And then there's suddenly, oh no, this doesn't work anymore and I have to leave. And then the Ace of Swords is realizing that truth and moving forward in that truth. And see how it's coming out of the clouds? So it feels like divine assistance. There was something, could have been a tower moment, like it had to get so bad before it gets better. You know, I was just working through a migraine. So what happens with mine is it starts as a tension headache and then it moves into a migraine and then it kind of goes back into a tension headache. And so anytime that maybe you're fasting or you practice fasting or you are now, and it's like you kind of have to like phase things out, and then because it doesn't feel very sudden like the tower, or like it's an all in, all out thing, cold turkey situation, cold tofu situation, right? And so it's like this, you know, antibiotics. Maybe something happened there. Or you could just not be feeling that well, because pentacles represent balance. They represent stability, health, and wealth. And if they're not doing that well, or they weren't doing that well, maybe you had to kind of shift a lot of things around to kind of reset your whole body. It's like whatever you were giving your energy to completely sapped your energy. So maybe something with trees. But anyway, Page of Cups is, I feel stumped. Like, how do I describe the Page of Cups? I talk about him all the time. But there's this, I talk about him all the time. Maybe that's a thing. Maybe the feminine is talking about the masculine all the time. But they don't know how to describe them. So this could be the perspective of the feminine looking at this masculine. Like, I don't know if they're emotionally mature. I don't know if they want something emotional. Like, they seem very, like a page is very fun. It's playful. It's childlike. It's fun to be around pages, right? It's like being a grown up and going into like a birthday bouncy house. You know, it's like, oh, this is super fun. I get why kids love this. You know, I kind of get why all my friends traded me in for the cool kids that had, you know, trampolines and bouncy houses or whatever for their birthdays. You know, it's like, I get it now. But there's something like, is this person here for a good time and not a long time? Is this person, do they have the emotional capacity? And this could also be the masculine questioning whether or not they have the emotional capacity to get into something else, right? Because this sort of truth could also be like something that the masculine wished for, and it's that divine hand coming in and saying, well, here's that thing you asked for. Ready or not? Ready or not, here I come. The Hierophant and the Wheel of Fortune. The masculine's coming in, could be a Taurus, to have strong Taurus placements. But this is a very spiritual masculine coming in. They want something stable. They want something feels traditional, because we have the Ace of Swords again here under the feminine's deck. So there is a truth that is shared by you both that's going to, I want to say, make or break this connection. Maybe Page of Cups, the masculine could be younger. That could just be the situation here. And maybe the feminine's like, ugh. But feminines, have you dealt with older masculines and still met the Page of Cups in reverse? Yes, you have. That's why you're here. Come on. You have the Three of Cups and the Ace of Swords. That's what the feminine wants. I want to date. I want to celebrate love. And you know what? It's really easy to celebrate with a Page of Cups, because they are fun, they are jovial, they're very joyful and playful and light. You know, it's like, I get this sensation that this feminine is kind of stern, you know, to other people. But there's something about this masculine that brings out like a silliness in this feminine that maybe she did not realize she still had within her because of her past. Let's see about that. Ooh, yeah. Okay. Tell me about the past. Hanged Man. Yeah, this feminine has dealt with a bunch of lames that just are only very selfish, right? This is Pisces energy. They could have dealt with a Pisces, or be a Pisces, or whatever. Could be Pisces placements here. But this is the third eye. Pisces is the third eye in the moon. But the moon also represents lack of clarity. And because this is, I mean, the Hangman, this is in the upright. but I just get with as it clarifying this imbalance in the past on the masculine side, that this feminine, this is somebody who was like, and this person's not hanging there they're not hooked by their foot. They can't release themselves immediately whenever they want. This is a masculine who was, or a series of masculines that were codependent. They dealt with attachments. They could have dealt with addictions, right? But it was like this thing was, like they took their own time. They probably took this feminine's time as well, time and energy. So there could be a past person that's looking at this. This could be a return of somebody who was being selfish. And maybe because they were younger, there was some sort of immaturity. They were just kind of waiting and watching, not taking any action. There's never any action involved. But once this masculine, right? Because we have the Emperor here, so I'm going to say that this dynamic is divine, okay? At least on the masculine side. We have the Queen of Wands, though. So, swords can be an idea, so it's like this. Okay, we'll get to that in just a second. Okay, because I'll veer off. So there's, with the masculine here, the Emperor, it's like this is when this masculine took this step towards themselves and away from any other attachments, right? So this could be the same masculine that has broken out of karmic attachments, or this could be a brand new person that's going to, I want to say, rival all the past masculines. It's going to make you be happy that you saw what it could be, what you didn't want could be, so that what you do want can just like impress the hell out of you. And this masculine is looking at this Queen of Wands because they are impressed with the feminine. I like this in a love reading because the feminine is standing here in their power, and even though I'm reading for the feminine, it's it's masculine energy coming out, divine masculine energy, which tells me that the masculine here is leading the way. They're going to lead the way like a masculine should. And this Queen of Wands is pretty badass, but I don't want to say no match. So a little fight with fire is a little bit sassier, but this masculine is no match for the feminine. Or, I mean, this feminine is no match for the masculine. Both of you could have a little bit of competition, but it's playful competition. King of Swords. They are going to respect your boundaries, feminine. This is a masculine who understands the way that you think. And if they don't, they'll ask questions. A King of Swords likes to have the information, right? This is somebody who's very confident with information, the way that they receive it and the way that they distribute it. So maybe that's something that the masculine does in work. A lot of like, I was going to say communications, but then telecommunications came in. So yeah, maybe they're like a business person, they're on the phone a lot, or they are like always communicating with people. These are usually like government jobs. But this is someone who's analytical. This is someone who's in their masculine, but they're still approaching this feminine from with this Ace of Swords and this King of Swords, they're approaching this feminine as a Queen of Swords. So it's like, an Emperor has all the kings, but he's not approaching this feminine in his King of Wands. Why? I find that interesting, because maybe they're dealing with an earth sign, Queen of Pentacles here, or somebody who's in that energy of, again, the Hierophant. Taurus energy is very grounded, slow, methodical, a bull needs to feel very, you don't want to like piss a bull off, in their space. So if you come to them with an offer, it's like, if you come to a feminine who's presenting in the Queen of Wands, this is somebody whose boundaries as the Queen of Swords were not as effective, or they just kept getting tested, and the feminine's like, okay, I guess I have to present as the Queen of Wands, because this is the one who will come in and get you. This is a very witchy, crafty individual, but she's a dark feminine. Doesn't mean she's evil, right? This is someone who understands how to work powers, right? It's not dark magic, because an emperor's not going to look at a dark magic person. This is a magician. right? This is divine alchemist. This is someone who understands energy. They're not going to bother with someone who's like doing low vibrational bullshit, because that's what they dealt with in the past, and they're just not interested in that. An emperor knows what he wants, and he's only going to go after an empress. So this tells me that this is how this empress is presenting. But yeah, they need something stable. They need a stable, grounded offer. They don't want words. Eat your words. Eat your hat out, kids. You know, this feminine's like, I don't want that. I want the Wheel of Fortune. I want the big kahuna. I want the Big Bang. Maybe something with the Big Bang Theory. I've only watched a couple episodes of that ever. Yeah, this is a masculine, like, this feminine, whenever masculine's brought a wand to them, and that could be this masculine not approaching this Queen of Wands with sexual energy, right? Because this feminine has dealt with sexual energy. Low vibrational sexual energy. A lot of Page of Wands, probably. Knights of Wands. But no kings or anything beyond that. And so this masculine's like, I'm not going to present. No. This is a feminine. She's presenting as this. And yes, the Queen of Wands is very attractive and has a lot of sexual energy. Why? Because sexual energy comes from the sacral chakra, scorpionic energy. It is the source of our creativity. Biologically, and speaking as chakras and energy points, the sacral chakra has a lot of, it's like once you release something from the root chakra, that's that leaving a situation, releasing something that's not working, it's, you feel that surge of creative energy. It's like, it just, and it fuels like embers, right? I'm getting embry, but anyway, emery board, something with filing, the hands. So maybe this feminine like does a lot of creative stuff with her hands. She does have 4 arms here, so yeah, there's something about like that multitasking thing that this feminine or this masculine was looking for a feminine that they could work with. Like they just have, and maybe they, yeah, maybe because they are a busy person, they're like, well, I'm gonna have to meet a feminine at work or someone who is aligned in that area because the work that this masculine is doing is very important to them. For whatever reason, it's very important to them and their life purpose. But yeah, so this feminine exudes a lot of sexual energy, but this masculine knows better because he's an emperor, that you present with a solid offer. That's who you're really presenting an offer with, right? It's like the queens of an empress. It's the Queen of Swords. She sets the boundaries. She has the conversations and then goes, okay, the Queen of Wands will see you now. The Queen of Wands is like, if you have to meet the Queen of Wands because you crossed the boundaries of the Queen of Swords, she is not a nice person. This is someone who's done being nice. So maybe the way that this feminine speaks is very direct and kind of dry. And that confuses, true pages of cups. But I do feel like this Page of Cups is representing the masculine coming in to like bring a little bit of playfulness. And that's the other thing about wands. Fire is a dance, So like this, there's a dark feminine side to every queen, and there's a light feminine side to every queen. Like the Queen of Pentacles, like a shadow aspect of the, and that's not dark and light is not shadow. Shadow is lower vibrations. But a shadow aspect of the Queen of Pentacles is someone who can be maybe presented as being rude, complacent, just stubborn for the sake of being stubborn, right? Or maybe a homebody, like they just hang out. We've got 4 little kids here. Maybe this is a single mother. But this page is coming in here like as a surprise to bring some sort of playfulness into this feminine, like get them out of their shell a little bit. And so maybe the work that the masculine does is like very motivational. And so they're kind of helping this feminine. And it's not that this feminine doesn't know how to be creative. It's just there's a bit of a sternness to them because I think they've been burned so many times. They've waited on passion that meets their passion, but not just of the body, right? This is a divine feminine. They need passion beyond that. Divine passion, it drives everything that you do. It's the way that you are. It's a state of being, like joy and peace. And this feminine has found some sort of peace, but there's part of them that doesn't know how to play anymore. So yeah, there could be an age difference with the emperor here. An emperor is usually an older masculine or just a very wise masculine because they've had to build themselves. But this masculine is coming in with the Wheel of Fortune and the Two of Cups here. 5 of Cups, 4 of Pentacles. There's all of this. They're working on it. 8 of Pentacles. This masculine has worked on their cycles. This feminine has worked on their cycles as well. But it's like this feminine. It's presenting with the 5 of Cups, the 4 of Pentacles, like the hoarder. See, that's that shadow aspect of this Queen of Pentacles. It's someone who's like, because the Queen of Pentacles in the upright is very nurturing, very warm, welcoming, gracious, generous. This is someone who's not so generous because that generosity got them burned. It caused conflict, competition, war. And it all started the way that this figure is looking over here. It's like, and this feminine is presenting here as a masculine, right? There's a lot of war. That is masculine energy. That is Aries. That is Mars and Scorpio. But masculine energy is destruction. Feminine energy is rebirth, right? And they are all intertwined. So a lot of the number 13, death, scorpionic energy, endings, beginnings. That's a really good movie, actually. Very interesting, the making of it, I think, as well. Endings, beginnings with Shailene Woodley. And I don't remember the other guys, but one's an Aries and one's a Taurus, which is masculine and feminine. It's the most distinctly feminine and the most distinctly masculine because it's fixed earth as a Taurus, so that's double earth. And Aries is cardinal fire, which is double fire, badee. So I'm not laughing at the feminine for this energy. I'm laughing with them because I'm with the feminine, because this is like, I just don't want to deal with love anymore because of something in their childhood. You know, they just kept, it's like they couldn't stop attracting the same losers. I just want to say losers. This is a winner, and not a winner for the sake of competition and winning, like, I win. What is that? Friends. This is going to be your best friend, of course. But in Friends, where Mona was talking to, I don't know, they were talking about guys in the past. You remember that guy that every time he came, he would say, I win, I win. She's like, we went out for, I don't know, she's like a year or something. She's like, we went out for a year. I never won once, you know. Very selfish people. And I'm not saying that Pisces is selfish, because I do feel like there's a Pisces in here, at least one that's like, why are you calling us selfish? I don't know why I'm doing the gingerbread voice there. Oh no. It's not that Pisces is selfish. I'm just getting that's the type, that's the energy I'm getting from this card. Okay? So calm down, Pisces. I love y'all. So maybe planes, Zelda, like video gaming. I don't know why I just looked through those like that. I don't know why. I don't know why she swallowed a fly. That's too many. All right, so what's happening with this connection here? How is this mask? I mean, they're going to come in with truth. But I think that words don't mean shit to this feminine. So how is this truth going to break through to this feminine? 4 of Swords. Four of Swords is Virgo energy. It is that contemplative, introspective, meditative, restful energy. It is somebody who has, this masculine has gone within. I don't know, maybe the feminine will just sense it. Seven of Wands, the Empress. Yeah, it's like the feminine, there's going to be some sort of recognition. Two of Swords. And see, this figure always looks like it's flipping the swords off. Okay, so if you've ever heard that, if you have to make a choice, don't choose me. And there's some, I can see both sides of why that would be a problematic statement to make, because everything is a choice. But this truly feels like this masculine does not have any other choices. They have a lot of attention. They don't have any other choices. It's not even a choice. This is their Empress. So they know, and because they know, the feminine knows, right? Because feminine, you've dealt with so much confusion and so many people who didn't know what they wanted, who didn't know who they were, because they didn't do this work. They didn't do, shadow work starts with the hermit. Go within, do the self-inventory, look at yourself. Check yourself before you wreck yourself, and the whole collective, inadvertently. Six of Pentacles. Yeah, this is like sharing. This is sharing, and it's very balanced. Look at that. And it's the number 6, which is agape love. It's like, feminines, you're going to know because this person is going to love you like you love yourself. They respect your boundaries. They respect and honor your thoughts. They want to protect your creative space because they admire what you do as a creative person. Like, you speak truth. Whatever you're doing with your hands, feminine, whatever multitasking you're doing, this is a feminine and masculine energy because she's in her fire. This is a very powerful feminine, and this masculine likes it. They're like, we could be super powerful together. So the way that they present, the feminine's arms are open. It feels like it's not even a question for her either because of the way that they present themselves. So I don't know how this masculine is going to present themselves. If you have already interacted with them and you're like, yes, I just met this fool, and I say fool because that is also Aries and Aquarius. That is the one who takes the leap of faith, right? The Emperor and the Aries. It's like Aries is the 0. Take off and see where we go. So yeah, this masculine is presenting as a divine masculine. Imagine that. So because it's unlike anything you've ever dealt with before, 9 of Pentacles, they want you to stay independent, feminines. This masculine will prove that your independence does not scare them. Not only does it not scare them, it really works for them. Because maybe they dealt with feminines who were codependent, who were like, why aren't you always at work? And you're going to be like, feminines, you're going to be like, let's go to work. I like that. Let's go to work. Let's fucking get it. Let's get it. You're going to be like chest bumping each other. Like, you're so powerful, but you also do it with this like exuberance that's just, it inspires people just being around you. Get out of here. Ace of Wands. Yeah. See, then comes the Ace of Wands. But once you are like, oh, maybe you always started with chemistry, right? Because it's the most overtly masculine presenting element, what we see, everything in the physical and the 3D, which is fire energy, which is chemistry. All right, and then you've got communication, right? The sword, you're presenting with communication. So it's usually like, I like the way you look, let's talk about it. And then we sit over a candlelit dinner, take a long walk on the beach or whatever, and we talk about what we want in life. Where are our paths leading? And are they leading in the same direction? Do we want the same things? Also, we discuss, how likely is that to change, or areas that we may be open to change. And so that way it's not a total shock when we change, because we're always changing and evolving, hopefully. And that way we don't change in opposite directions. We're like, I'm kind of interested in this. I might want to move to Texas. I might want to move to there. It's like you talk about all of those things like you would on the first few dates with somebody. And maybe you and this person will have this conversation in a long walk, or you're going to close down the restaurant or the bar, wherever you're having this conversation, because you're like, yes, I want this too. And it's not, what do you want? Oh, yeah, I want that too. Yeah. Because that's what you've dealt with before, feminines and masculines probably. People who didn't know what they wanted, so they just said they wanted what you wanted, and then you're down the road discovering, oh, they didn't want that, but they don't actually know what they want. So, like the movie The Notebook irritates the shit out of me, because it's like, oh, it's so beautiful, and yeah, there are like beautiful parts or whatever, and their chemistry is great, good for that, but it's just, and then, you know, she forgets everything. How convenient for her. Anyway, but the what do you want thing, she's like, I don't know. Then why the fuck did you come here? Why did you come here, you little hussy? You know, get out of here. End your situation first. Spend a little time alone so you know who you are, and then come back if you want to, and see if I'm still here. I probably won't be though, because hopefully I've realized my worth, and I just freaking rebuilt this house for her. Oh, it's so sweet. Oh, whatever. I feel like that's just representative of your past, just dealing with people who didn't know what they wanted, and then you were kind of made out to be the monster, because they're like, well, I only did that because you wanted to. It's like, well, you're a grown-up. You could say no. You know, you're just a follower because you're weak. Ooh, I'm feeling kind of irritable. There's a little spicy irritability here. It could have some Leo placements. We have the High Priestess. So this High Priestess shows as someone who's in tune with their intuition, their third eye. They can see this. So maybe you both have actually had visions of each other before you meet. Ten of Pentacles is it's very grounded. And then we have the Hangman here again. So Pisces, you both could share Pisces placements, and maybe that's why you're kind of, you know, there's like a worry of being judged or misunderstood, because that is a common theme with, and I'm getting common theme several times in this reading. So this is not going to be a common theme. This is going to be the truest aspect of these major arcana, right? Now, this is either plot points in your life. These are placements that you share, right? Pisces energy is very big here, which means that it's a lot of moon energy. So it's felt. Yeah, that's why I think that the words Eight of Swords, it's like there's a lot of clarity here. These swords aren't crossing over each other. There's no confusion or disruptions like there is with this Five of Wands or Five of Swords. It's like masculine energy of swords and fire tells me that that's what the feminine, it's just like, that's all they've ever dealt with. This masculine is like that. They bring the clarity of like why you've dealt with all of this for your whole life, feminines. Because we have Strength here, Ace of Wands. Yeah. And Eight of Wands. This is a new cycle, and this is a passion unlike anything that either one of you will have ever experienced, because when you have that compatibility, when you have that communication and the connection, that's that mutually shared connection, then the chemistry stuff is unmatched. Unmatched. Pun intended with the wands here. Because, I mean, look, this can grow. This isn't an annual, right? This is a perennial flower. So maybe something with gardening or more earth energy. I mean, this is the person you're going to grow older with. I don't know how old you are. 10 of Pentacles. That's the wedding singer. Like, this person's going to be there for you. I feel like you've just dealt with so many people in the past that were just never there for you. They were only there for themselves. And we have the solar plexus, the sun, and, you know, the color yellow. So this could be a synchronicity for you. You see a lot of yellow around. Coldplay. And it was all yellow. I wrote a song. 4. 4 is the theme here. You or your person could be a life path 4. You could be seeing things in 4. With the red die, I always get the 4 of Wands here. So because you've done the work, because you waited, Tell me about that. Yeah, tell me about that. 34, 32. Could be a couple year age difference. swap. Okay, so we got crop 1 harvest. Yeah, 11/11. So maybe something, we just passed 11/11, so maybe there was something about that. Maybe you met your person then, or we're still in the portal, right? But it is at its strongest when it is, 10/10, 11/11, 12/12. So yeah, maybe between the 11/11 and the 12/12 portals, maybe you will meet them. And people are like, portals, like, what is this? Like sci-fi. Ooh, maybe you're just more analytical than that. Portals just are a metaphorical term then for a new way of thinking. And what is the essence here of this whole thing with this hangman? The hangman looks at things in a new way. There's a change of perspective. So both of you had that change in perspective, obviously, because you wouldn't have gone through the major arcanas of shadow work and become the high priestess, high priest, the magician, and of course, the divine feminine, divine masculine of where'd she go? Where'd she go? Oh no, maybe there's a pause here with the feminine. Where'd she go? Yeah, because they're looking opposite here. Let's put them like this. Okay? Free will, everybody. You can't force anything, but I just like the way that this looks better. Maybe there's a height difference or something. But this feminine, this masculine makes this feminine feel small, not like minimized, small, like a dainty, protected little precious gift from the divine. Yeah, where did she go? Where did she go? So maybe there's something in that. Where did she go? I don't know. There could be a million things. Maybe you met and then the feminine had to leave and you're like, oh no, where did you go? Like Cinderella. So maybe the masculine is like Page of Swordsing, looking at this feminine social media if she has it, like trying to find her, like if they met in the community, asking people about this feminine. It's like they're gathering information. Okay, I practice holding in mind the highest image of others, even though they may not be manifesting it now. So that's big about free will, let them do their thing. I mean, there's no chasing involved with a divine connection. It just comes together naturally. There's chasing with the twin flame journey sometimes, but what mindsets or stereotypes am I holding onto about myself, about others? Do I try to see others as God sees them? So whatever that means to you, seeing the best in people. Maybe you saw the potential in other people and then you got tired of seeing the potential in other people and became quite cynical and judgmental, or that like irritability that I was feeling. It's like, ugh. Like you just maybe don't have the greatest perspective of humanity at the current time. I mean, that could be, maybe you're into, I mean, as a vegan, I get that a lot. I understand that a lot. I mean, people not having a great view of vegans, but, but feeling kind of disappointed or defeated in humanity because of how awful we are. And if you've dealt with people for a long time that were maybe awful, you could be a very humble, tolerant, kind, forgiving person, but we are human. We only have the capacity to deal with so much before we're like, I can't see the good. This masculine and feminine coming together, it's like you both realize this sort of childlike, innocent perspective of the world, like the hopefulness in how the divine would see you, right? And how you've learned to see yourself. Other people might call you arrogant, self-righteous, hoity-toity. I don't know where hoity-toity came from, but yeah, there's gonna be jealous people around you, and that's fine. Whatever, that's their problem. But I think just preserving, that's just a reminder to preserve your beautiful perspective of the world. Utilize that high priestess and that hanged man way of looking at the world in a way that still gives you hope. So, I mean, this connection's gonna really help with that. It's gonna like, oh my gosh, I just needed one person to restore my faith in humanity. And that's not codependent. That's called co-creative. Because if you're someone who likes to connect or needs to connect, you mean like a human being, Nikki? Yes, I do, because that's what we're here to do, is connect. If you aren't able, there's this blockage because you've dealt with people who are so deep in their ego, they haven't done that work and they aren't ready to realize their own power of manifestation and their own power of leveling up and shadow work, and that they actually have that same divine energy. They're going to just try and take it from you because it's a lot easier and it's very draining. I really hope that there was something in here for you, Virgo, because there's hope in here. There is hope. There is hope. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to title this. Something with hope, because I feel, tapping into the collective, that's a rare commodity at the moment for you and or your person. And so that's the only advice I can see here, is like, it's coming together. It's divine union, masculine, feminine. We've got the Emperor and the Empress, Two of Cups, Ten of Pentacles. Like, those are solid agreements. We are having a conversation. We're clinking our cups. There's a contract signed. Could be marriage with the Hierophant popping out. But whatever marriage means to you, whatever union means for you, however that looks in the 3D to you, it matches what your person also visualizes. You want the same things. So all of that feels good. The communication feels good. The passion is slow and steady. It's waiting to come in until everything else the foundation has been laid, right? Otherwise, you've just got a fire pit. You want a fireplace, which means you got to build the walls, which means you got to build the foundation, which means you got to level out the ground first, right? There are steps before you get to the passion. And that's not what this is about, but it's going to be so much better. And it's going to be like, haha, to everyone else who was running and forward with that wand. Not that you need to say ha ha, but it's kind of nice to have things like that validated. Like, if you are out in the dating world, it can be very discouraging about what's out there. Who's out there? And it can make you doubt whether or not your person's out there, or you're just the only person. And then maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm crazy. All right. So I feel like there's a lot of overthinking going here. And I only say overthinking, not from other people's perspective, from your own perspective. You're like, I feel anxious. I'm constantly thinking about this. It's interrupting my sleep. And maybe this is something that you've come out of, but if you are in this, then the advice is just to return to that hopefulness. So what things about your environment do bring you hope and joy? And just give energy to those. And if you have to call into work, you have to call into work. If they're going to fire you for calling into work, then that's not your place. That's your tower. That's because if you dread going to a place, don't fucking go there. That's your intuition telling you. Trust your intuition. I don't want to go there. My body reacts. My mind reacts, overreacts. It's constantly going because I hate what I'm doing. I hate where I am. It does not fit. And it doesn't have to be hate. It just doesn't fit. So leave it. Leave it where it is. Let it be what it is. And you go be what you are. And when you do that, when you return to your center of that true inner child, that one in your heart space that believes in the good, that believes you deserve good, that believes that everything is working out in your favor, that you are divinely protected, that you are blessed and abundant, right? So affirmations, speak some affirmations into your heart today. Maybe some child's pose. Just really cater to the heart space and protecting that heart space, because it is a beautiful heart space and it has a lot of love to give to the collective. So just give it to yourself. If you can take a little bit of time off, it will just do wonders for your mood if you are feeling tested by that. And that frequency of feeling that joy, feeling that peace, feeling hope, is what attracts your person. It's like the moment that you go, okay, I do believe in love. It's like the cowardly line, I do believe in spooks, I do believe in spooks, I do. It's like, sometimes you gotta fake it till you make it. So affirmations, just remind yourself with your own words how powerful, how you are love, how you are peace, how you are abundance, how you are all those things that maybe you feel like you're lacking at the moment. And then guess what? Chicken butt. You're gonna see it. Anyway, I hope there was something in here for you, Virgo. That was a tough energy. Hopefully we work through that together. And until next time, I wish you well.